Welcome to another episode of the Cynical Writer. Why is plagiarism bad? Well, there are plenty of reasons. Plagiarism basically is a form of theft. In fact, it's worse than physical theft because if someone steals your car, you've lost a physical object. But if someone steals an idea, they've basically stolen a part of yourself. So that's the big difference between plagiarism and other kinds of theft. When someone plagiarizes you, they're basically stealing a part of your soul. Now, in a way, that is a form of flattery, because when someone plagiarizes you, they've basically said, this writer is a lot better than me, so I'm going to steal their work so I can seem better. So in a way it is a form of flattery, but it is still morally wrong and reprehensible. It's funny, though, because I've actually been plagiarized several times. One time, someone took one of my stories, one of my romantic comedy stories, which I typically don't write romantic comedy stories, but I wrote a romantic comedy short story just to see if I could do something differently. Well, someone took that story and turned it into a Korean K-pop fan fiction, and they added in a sex scene that wasn't originally there. The story was actually quite funny because of that, and surprisingly, I have a sister who writes K-pop fan fiction. I don't know why, but she does. But I told her about it, and she actually sent some of her fans who read her work to criticize the person who had posted that story. So it was actually quite ironic that that happened. I had another story that someone took and they turned it into a Justin Bieber fan fiction, and I complained to them, and they took the story down, thankfully. But my stories have been plagiarized several times, and they usually end up on websites that are for younger people. Wattpad, for example. Wattpad is notorious for hosting plagiarized stories for whatever reason. And that's one of the reasons why I've always been reluctant to put my work online, because there's always a risk that it will be plagiarized, which is why I always try to print physical copies of my books, because that ensures a type of protection for me. So I hope you enjoyed my speech for today. You can check out some of my work in the description section and hopefully purchase it legitimately. And I just want to let my audience know, though, that purchasing my work really is the best way to support this channel, because I don't have a Patreon or anything like that. I solely rely on sales from my work. So thank you for listening, and goodbye.